At the beginning of this year, East African countries including Uganda, Kenya, and South Sudan were hit by a powerful heat wave. Among the people who felt the brunt of the heat wave were those who worked outdoors like traffic police officers and roadside vendors. While for many of us, including those who worked outdoors, the heat wave may have negatively affected our working conditions, for farmers like Philip Sozi, who has over 400 acres of sugarcane, the heat wave caused losses worth millions of shillings.
Recently we had a heat wave and we had planted cane, and right down there it's like putting it in an oven. So we lost about 50 acres that we had planted, and that's about to quantify it in shillings, it's a minimum of 20 million shillings that we made a loss on, just because we planted according to the old patterns, but now we are seeing a shift in the weather patterns.
Sozi's farm also has livestock including cattle, sheep, goats and other food crops. He says the unreliable weather affects so many things, including sources of food and water for the animals, the mating season and the amount of milk that is produced for sale on the farm.
Many times we've brought in workers to do, for instance, planting, and because it's a lot of work over a large scale, we need so many hands. And we bring people, but we don't get the rains. And you have about 50 people on the farm who are not doing anything. You have to feed them, you have to look after them, and that's a cost on us without a return.
Sozi acknowledges that by replacing acres of trees with acres of crops like sugarcane, coupled with Nakasongola's reputation as one of the major sources of charcoal in Uganda, farmers end up being both the perpetrators and victims of these changing weather patterns. He, however, calls upon the government to improve its capacity to predict the weather and deepen its collaboration with farmers.
My request would be that the government invests in very high-tech meteorological center, so that we can at least get some insight, forewarned, forearmed.
James Kimani, a climatologist at Sustainable Agribusiness Program in Kenya, confirms that the government is currently implementing plans to improve the capacity of the meteorology units in the country.
You see, here in Kenya, the government is working extremely hard, and actually it is planning to overhaul the existing manual technology system, and I'm sure they are going to replace it with the digital technology to enhance the reliability and timely dissemination of weather forecasts.
At the peak of the heat wave, governments took measures to help their citizens cope. In South Sudan, schools were closed, while Kenya's President William Ruto in May this year declared a public holiday, urging each Kenyan to plant 50 trees to honor their fellow citizens who died in floods the previous month. Like Ruto, many governments hope that their citizens and farmers like Sozi can engage in activities that reverse climate change. We talked to Arthur Woniala, the Chief Executive Officer at Kayinza Energy, which makes briquettes as an affordable alternative to charcoal. Woniala tells us that they are determined to restore and preserve the environment by empowering farmers to adopt energy-friendly lifestyles.
Only 50 kilograms can last for a small family about 6 weeks at a cost of only 50,000 shillings. So we directly replace the consumption of 120 kgs of charcoal, which relates to about 800 kgs of firewood. Now, this is all being done with the end result that we want to restore our climate and our environment. This year, 2024, we find that there was no clear demarcation between the rainy season and the dry season. You find that there's been these drastic weather changes which have made life very, very difficult, especially for smallholder crop farmers.
While the heat wave is long gone and the rainy days and chilly nights are back, East Africans would be wise to take the lessons from Mother Nature and positively adjust our lifestyles before the weather negatively adjusts our livelihoods.